Hi there! So today I'm going to be showing you my newest tutorial, which is a really beachy kind of golden glam makeup look using some of my favourite products.
My friends aren't far, in the back of my car, lay their bodies.
So I'm just going to start with the eyebrows here on Georgie, and I'm using the Arbonne brow pencil in dark. I'm etching out shape underneath and then filling in the sparse areas with little hair strokes. So stage 2 is my concealer. Here I'm using the Arbonne concealer in the shade Fair, and I'm using my MAC 252 brush. I'm just pressing that into the brow to carve out a really clean line, and then I'm in sections patting that onto the eyelid to create a really nice thick base that's going to be nice and tacky for my eyeshadow stages to stick to. And I'm just using a really light touch just to pat that onto the lid. The next thing I'm doing then is just buffing out the edges.
They'll be here pretty soon, looking through my room for the money.
So stage 3 of applying the makeup is to start with your transition shade on the eyes, and I'm using an absolutely stunning taupe shade here from Illamasqua called Heroin.
I lost my mind.
As you can see, I'm using a circular buffing motion, starting in the crease and then just buffing that product out towards the brow, towards the outer corner and the inner corner of the eye. And the real thing we're looking for here is product colour consistency and creating depth with the shadows. And here I'm using my Zoeva 224 brush to do so. So you're going to see me doing a lot of layering and repeating stages. So here I'm just layering up the shadows with another Illamasqua one called Vapor and the same brush. So the next step I'm doing is building up my next shade, and this is a Makeup Geek blush called Chivalry. I'm using my MAC 224 brush and I'm going slightly lower than the previous colour so that you get that graduated effect.
My V is falling, thought that I'd feel better, but now I got a bellyache.
The next stage that I'm going to be doing is using the deepest shade from the Lime Crime Venus palette, and I'm using a tapered Zoeva brush to buff that into the crease of the eye. You will notice that I keep picking up my previous brush with the previous colour just to make sure that my blend's staying perfect and it's not going to go muddy. I'm just going to comb a little bit of Arbonne mascara through her brows. That's just going to make them look really fluffy and natural and give them a bit of definition as well.
But now I got a bellyache. Don't let me pass one, cause I might come. Pop it out of our snow, going down. If it's past 2, I can look at you.
So I'm taking that same concealer that I did the eye base with and the same concealer brush, and I'm just going to pat a little bit on the lid, and that's going to act as a base for my light colour going on Georgie's eyelid. So the shade that I'm applying to her lid is from my Morphe palette, which is a really just nice pale champagne gold. I decided to then pack on a second gold shade, which is Amber from Arbonne, and this is just going to give real vibrancy and pigment to that gold. And I'm just going back over the edge with that same tapered brush and a little bit of the dark brown just to kind of buff out the edges and make it all a bit more sleek. Now I'm using my Maybelline gel liner in the shade 01 Black, and I'm just doing a gorgeous thick winged liner for Georgie there.
Sucks boy, OT, I'm in love with the fuck boys. I'm just being real, can I keep it real?
using my 212 MAC flat definer brush, and I'm just tapping on some black Urban Decay blackout eyeshadow, and I'm also going to use that to smudge out the edges so I've got more of a smoky liner rather than a kind of classic straight line. This is just going to make it more softer, more kind of beachy, and I just love a smoky liner at the moment. So anyone that knows me will know I love a multi-purpose product. Now these Arbonne concealers are phenomenal. Here I'm going to use it as a bit of an under eye concealer and also a base, again, just to repeat the stages that I've done on top, so that you get a really flawless eye look. You want to make sure that you've got as much shadow on the bottom as you have on the top. Now, please don't judge me, I'm doing this all from memory, but I'm going to list this liner below. This is a bronze NYX liner and I absolutely love it in the waterline. It literally just captures the light and it's stunning. So I'm just popping that in there for Georgie. And I'm using a bronzy, slightly darker shade, NARS pencil liner called Via H.E.R. Underneath there, just to kind of smudge that out. So you just watched me repeat my second stage there, which was the Chivalry blush, just buffed underneath. And I'm not actually going to use any lashes on this look because Georgie's got naturally really long lashes, and also I want to keep it quite wearable as well. So I'm just going to coat up the layers of Arbonne mascara there. This is my fave mascara ever, 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 ever. So next step is foundation, and I'm using, as always, my favourite liquid foundation, the Arbonne Perfecting Liquid, and this is in the shade Golden Beige. And I'm actually applying it with, I really want to coin this, but Georgie actually said she does it as well. I found a paintbrush in my kit, in my paint kit, and I am obsessed with it. I saw it and I was like, that looks so fluffy and buffy. I want to try it as a foundation brush, and genuinely it's one of my favourites now. I can't put it down. So I'm just going to buff that foundation all over, and although at the moment it might look a little bit fair for her skin, it's actually the perfect match, and you'll see as I'm going through the video that it does start to kind of correct up and oxidise and begin to match her skin absolutely perfectly. I'm doing a super lazy contour and highlight routine now, so I'm just going to apply a little bit of that fair Arbonne concealer to Georgie's under eyes, forehead and down her nose, and just pat that in with the same brush. I just used the Arbonne Setting Pretty powder down the centre of her face to soak up any excess oil, and I'm now warming up her skin with the Arbonne bronzer, and I honestly take this everywhere in my kit. I can't put it down. I absolutely love it. For my blush and highlight, I'm using the NARS Frenzy Duo. I just love these. I bought them in LA and I'm absolutely addicted to them. I'm using a dry brush. You can use it with a damp brush for more intensified colour, but I just want it quite light. And I'm just repeating a couple of the stages under the eyes there as well, just to make sure I've got real definition. Just to finish off with Georgie's lips, I'm using the Arbonne Peach Lip Liner. Absolutely love this shade, it's just a really nice neutral one. And with a Zoeva cream shadow brush, I'm applying the Arbonne lipstick in Zinnia, and I'm just really lightly patting that and getting Georgie to rub her lips together, just so it's more of a sheen, a really sheer, fresh colour. Don't turn off the light. Gloss, I'm using the Arbonne shade in Linden, just to give that a little bit of a reflect. And we're finished. You see the
foreplay, yeah. So we could skip the wordplay,